All right, nice day. Taking another trip to the park. Ah, I figure I might as well splurge, spend a little extra money, take some transportation out someplace new, make a really weird video inside of a car. Also, there's a small possibility Johnny might be out in the same area today. We'll find out when I get there. If nothing else, I'll get some footage of flying around the woods, do some little tree dodging. Always entertaining, as long as you don't hit any trees. All right, back to old Bidwell Park. I think it's the 1 mile area. I don't know, sometimes it calls it Sycamore Grove or Sycamore Pool. I never know the names. All I know is 1 mile. The place where I used to swim and get ear infections as a kid. Way too cold to swim today. Wind's not too bad. And I don't see too many people roaming around, so seems like a pretty good time to rip around here. I am informed that sometime in the past they used to keep better care of the park and cut down on some of the brambles and stuff. I mean, they do appear to at least cut the grass in this area. Some of the parts of the park are just completely wild. Oh, these little branches are everywhere. Thankfully, the Avata's got the power to swerve out of the way. When I spot something, I can just tell it to go. And it goes. Even so, I hit a couple of those. A few of them little branches definitely managed to make contact. I didn't do any damage though, so that's good. A little orbit around there. Come on, man, I'm flying. Testing. Okay, I am midair right now. What's up? Great time for a phone call. Yeah, can't fly there. Okay, can't fly there. Alright, so I'm guessing Johnny is definitely on his way then. Somewhere. I'll find him sooner or later. I'm going to continue ripping around here for now. As is actually rather entertaining. Oh, except those stupid little treelets. You think you got perfectly straight lawn, and you get close enough to realize there's tiny little trees just poking out sometimes. Oh my god, look at that canopy. That is nothing but brambles. Little sticks everywhere. That is a drone destroying canopy. But here's a little gap I could slide back into. It was a lot easier going up than down. That looks like a porta potty. Oh, no, that's a bus. That is weird. Every time I looked at that in the distance, I swore that was a porta potty. It's a lot longer than a porta potty. Although I have no doubt people defecate in there. Oh yeah. There we go. A little gap. I love how low profile the Avata is to slide through stuff like that. Alright. Gotta go see where Johnny's at or what he's doing. Alright, I found Johnny, but he wanted to fly at the same place I was already flying, so here I am back to the exact same bench I just left like 5 minutes ago. Oh well, this time we'll take up the Neo. Do a little low speed tree surfing. Freaking dog. She is getting real daring. Especially with the Neo, since it has covers over the top of the fans. So it doesn't nip her in the nose when she goes to lunge for it. Trying not to make that thing her chew toy. Fortunately, she has yet to sprout wings and fly, so I'm safe as long as I'm over 6 feet in the air. Ooh. Yeah, it's a good thing the Neo has a pretty decent picture, because, man, I would not be able to dodge... I actually hit those. I would not be able to dodge most of these things without a good picture. Jeez, what is it, hanging vines? What is all this junk hanging from the trees? Those aren't even tree branches. Those are like... I think those are literally just dead vines hanging from a currently leafless tree. I know some people really like the overgrown look, but it is kind of a fire hazard.
Got to do it with my drone. I got to plug it in.
It's slightly inconvenient if you're flying through it.
Try out my ground station now.
Absolutely certain they don't care about that. See, I got the same problem. I managed to fly up high. Now I got to find my way back down and not land on top of a bunch of tree branches doing it. Now here we go. I think I could slide down through this hole right here. I really should just adjust the camera so I can see down. You have the ability to do that while you're flying. You can just turn the camera up and down. There's a little dial right on the FPV controller for it. I just never really get around to messing with it because I'm trying to concentrate on just moving forward, not playing with the other controls. Really should. That's got some other stuff on there. It's got like a little pause button. It's got some button for turning on and off the camera, although I don't ever want the camera to stop filming when I'm in the air, so I try not to mess with that one. It's got another button that just stops the drone in place when you need to. I mean, at this point, I'm not exactly too sure which of the buttons cancels return to home. I just wind up mashing all of the buttons really quick every time I panic. That is pure laziness on my part, not learning what all the buttons do. Yeah, right through here. Gee. Again, the Neo has a lot of grading over the top of the ducts, so that is one of the advantages when flying through bramble like this. As long as it doesn't actually get stuck in the ducts and hold it, it's pretty well protected. Little gap here before some bicyclist comes by and runs over my Neo. The Neo's so small and lightweight, somebody literally could just bump into it while they're walking. They'd hardly notice they touched anything. You know, the dog doesn't seem to care when I'm flying. The dog doesn't care when I'm landing. The dog freaks out every time I take off. Johnny tells me she's just fine. He says she just barks at it. Well, I can tell you, this time she didn't actually bite it. And that she didn't bite it last time, so... You know, I mean, he's totally right. Everything's fine. But when she nips at it, you can actually hear her jaws clamp down. Yeah. Neo's pretty good at doing gaps. But the only thing the Neo and Avata are not good at are these weird designated authorization zones. You know, which makes sense if I was high up in the air, but I'm right near one of the authorization zones. It's only a short distance away, and the drones will just stop in place if they go anywhere near it. Even though an airplane would have to crash through the forest of trees to get to my drone at this height. So it seems like a massive overreaction to tell me I can't even take off. See, I actually lost GPS signal right around here really badly. It was interfering with Johnny's video too. I have no idea what was causing all the interference. Well, if I had to hazard a guess, I bet it was those hipsters in that blue bus operating some sort of pirate radio station or something. You know, sometimes people do that stuff. Alright, I'm a little baby. We will take off for another location somewhere nearby. There's this overpass I would really like to fly under. Alright, well, Johnny says he's totally up for the overpass. I was kind of worried about going there because I was figured it'd be a tent city for all of the hobos, but Johnny says no, it's so open, none of them ever set up camp there, so we're gonna walk over, see if we can fly there. Hopefully it's not in that authorization zone area. Alright, I cannot get any satellite signal here, but I don't really need it. If it returned to home, it would just crash into the overpass. Well, there's a couple of tents. If they don't come out, I don't want to hit anybody in the face with my Avata. Oh man, this is such a great straightaway. This is actually cooler than I remember when I was here as a teenager shooting horror films. A lot of people roaming around though. Gotta be careful when I go near the bike paths and stuff. And I'm pretty sure we're dead in the center of an authorization zone, so I don't want it to actually get satellite signal, or it'll start mucking around with my ability to control this. Like I have to worry about an airplane under an overpass. Whoa, whoa, watch out there. Oh, ooh, getting a little too wild, that. You have to go there. Oh, crap, I'm getting satellite signal. What? No, don't. That! Oh, crap! Okay, it just popped up a big thing right in my view. I barely saw that guy. I don't think that would have affected him in the least, but he would have definitely run over my Avata. Okay, I've had enough fun here. Also, the Avata spazzing out about an authorization zone again. Oh, calm down, dog. Jiminy Christmas. I've had enough excitement for the moment. Okay, we're gonna adventure off the path, see if we can find some interesting forested places to fly. Hopefully, those authorization issues won't get in the way. Because there are some pretty places out here. There's just not any places to sit down. I gotta go find some place to camp out for a second so I get my equipment out. It's real pretty out. A lot of mosquitoes. This is the cool spot we walked out to, where I sat on that log right in the center and spent 15 minutes failing to authorize my drone to fly because we're at the very, 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 very edge tail end of the flight path of the airport. I mean, I'm flying 10 feet off the ground. I'm never even going above the treetops. If an airplane's going to hit my drone, it's going to have to plow through a forest to do it. But I couldn't authorize the drone, so I don't have any footage of flying out there at all. Johnny got to fly around a little tiny bit, and then we walked back. All right, back on the path again, since that was a huge failure. I did manage to donate at least a liter of blood to the local mosquito population. Johnny got to fly just a little bit. It's a bit of a problem. He tends a tendency to crash a bunch. There's a lot of places he can crash that he can't really get the stuff back out of. So I think we're going to head back towards the civilized part of the park. Alright, just a little tiny bit of daylight left. After the unfortunate excursion. Stop biting at my drone. Oh my god. So after that little excursion, we have just a sliver of daylight left. You can see the sun just parked on top of the mountains. But I was able to capture the sunset. That is always a nice way to end a day. And I get to do a little zoom. Oh, look at that light hitting those trees. That is pretty. Gotta be careful. There's some kids playing, I don't know, batting practice or something. I don't want them get in their way. And oh crap! Stupid authorization zone crap. Let go of my drone, fucking bureaucrats. Why is it flying me up of an authorization zone? Shouldn't it fly me back out of the zone? You know, at ground level or something? Alright, I got it to stop manhandling me. The computer freaking out. Oh, cool. A bunch of people finally cleared out here. I really wanted to fly around some of these benches, but they were all in use. I don't know if there's a barbecue or something. Johnny said there's just a bunch of homeless guys selling drugs there. Whatever they were doing, they were occupying almost all the benches. But they seem to be clearing out now. Mosquitoes are probably driving them out. I had so many bites all over my body. That's a nice area to zoom around on. Or zoom around in. I mean, other than the authorization zone right there. I still have no idea why it was that I couldn't get the authorization to work. I got it to work the other day near that school, which is dead center in the middle of that very edge of the zone. But I guess the cell phone signal wasn't strong enough to contact the FAA computers in the airport, and somebody wasn't talking to somebody else, and there was some programming error, and yeah, long walk back. You know, part of it's my mistake for not bringing along the Pavo. You know, a regular FPV drone doesn't have any of that stuff. And since I'm flying so low, it's ridiculous that it would even matter. They really need to clear up some of those things. Like having the fly zone over the top of this forest when everybody's flying in it instead of over the top of it. I mean, there's obviously no danger of anything going on here. Even me flying over the top of the treetops like this, I'm just like 10 feet over the top of them. Any airplane's going to be at least 100 feet over the top of the trees. Well, we are losing light pretty quick. The Avata's got a great picture, but not a great picture at night. I'm losing the light fast. I'm thankful, though, I was able to get this one last flight in. After that disappointment in the middle of the woods, I really needed to take to the air. A little worried those kids might throw a softball at my drone. I'm always paranoid. Always paranoid somebody on the sidelines is going to freak out. Oh, look at that. That sun is gone. There's just a hairbreadth of it there.
Unfortunately, yes.
Well, you know, if I could have just parked my drone there and did a time lapse. But I didn't come here for time lapse video. I came here to fly. And of course, do some awesome gaps. Ooh, maybe not there. Ooh, okay, right there. That's the place. Ah, jeez. Still had a couple little twigs. Yeah, I got some static for a second, but I think it switched channels. Tree surfing's a lot easier when you actually have leaves on the tree. So you know what to avoid at a distance. There's those little branches. Man, these piles of leaves. I don't think anybody's collecting them. Every place those leaves are piled is just a chunk of the lawn getting destroyed. And they are definitely, they've been there for a while. They are matted down. A commemorative bench. Who's it commemorate? Who cares? All right, I think I might have to bring this in. It is starting to get cold. Okay, maybe not quite yet. Almost about to bring it in. Gotta be careful. I almost hit Johnny's base station tripod. He really needs to put that on the back of his electric chair thing. The time it takes him to set up is massive. I think he's still setting up I'm already finished flying. I guess I'll watch him fly around for a bit. Well, seems like Johnny's needs to rush back home. Doesn't have time to go get a snack. Oh, these tiny mini tacos at Jack in the Box I really want to try. But man's too busy for junk food, I guess. Probably for the best. Neither of us should be eating that junk. Oh, but they're mini tacos, man. They're mini tacos. They're so cool. So anyways, I called an Uber. Got a ride back home, and I don't know. Maybe we'll see what we'll do next time. Maybe we'll do another Uber trip.